Hi everybody, welcome to Jenny K Quilts. Ask Jenny K. This episode is Confessions of a Fabric Snob. And here you are getting a private first-hand look at my stash. This is where I store all of my stuff. So let me give you an update here of some things that I've got going on. I've been filming this week. Today I'm filming and tomorrow I'm filming. I am tired. I'll tell you, you know you're tired when you go to get your eyebrows waxed and you almost fall asleep in the chair. That is very tired. And that is how tired I have been. So, I'm going to go get some food and go to bed right after this. I wanted to let you guys know Friday the 29th, July 29th at 11 a.m. I am doing a live webinar on binding. I'm going to talk about two different binding methods. One, a very traditional binding method. You wrap it around to the back and tack it down by hand. And then I'm also going to show you my favorite binding method. I just have to have a thing here. My method is all by machine, and it looks lovely. I love it. So that's going to be one of the things that I have. Oh, here. Upcoming pattern. Woo. All right. And then I want to tell you guys too. Look what I have here. Look at this lovely quilt. That's right. So the pattern for this quilt, How Many Circles, is available free from me as a thank you if you subscribe to my newsletter. So you go to jennykquilts.com and subscribe, and then I'll shoot you off this free pattern. I'd love to get it to you as a thank you because I really appreciate that. All right. So I'd love lots of comments and stuff as we talk about this. The issue being fabric, and why I'm a fabric snob, and the different things that I know about fabric, and what to look for when you're looking for quilt fabric. So, and everybody tuning in, I appreciate you being here. I love it when you watch, and you like, and you comment, and you share. That just really makes my day, so I appreciate that. Alright, so here's some things we're going to talk about. Confessions of a Fabric Snob. The point of having a high-quality fabric is predictability. You want to know when you press something, right? You're going to press two blocks together. You want to know that when you put those two patches together, that one isn't part polyester, and then when you press it, it's going to melt or shrink or do funny things. I have experienced that in my class where students will be there and they're working on something and everything's going fine, and then they add one portion to a center block and it doesn't work because it shrunk or it's the wrong size because it's not predictable. Now you can adjust, absolutely. In fact, if you see down here, I have Minky. I have lots of cuddle fabric from Shannon Fabrics. I love it. I love to quilt with it, but you have to make certain accommodations. It's not as predictable. Well, its behavior is not the same as 100% cotton is going to behave, and that's what we're looking for when we're doing this. Absolutely, you can make adjustments. You can work with what you need to, but sort of the standard that we want is predictability. We want to know how that fabric's going to act. So here's some of the things to think about. One is that all fabric, when it starts with gray goods, which is just the raw processed cotton. That's it. The quality of that is that they start within the manufacturing is going to determine the quality of the fabric at the beginning. You can't get around it. There's no way to maneuver or change it or anything like that. What you start with, that's the quality that you're going to end with. Okay? So just keep that in mind. If the company starts with a quality gray good, then they're going to get a quality finished product. And if they don't, they're not, and it's going to be harder to quilt with. And that's it. That's the way it is. All right. So let's see. I'm checking my notes, making sure I cover everything. Qualities or features of high quality fabric. I will say this. The brand name does not determine if this is going to be a high quality fabric or not. I used to think it was because I worked a couple years in the shop, and I also worked in a local quilt shop. I also worked at Sofro Fabrics in high school, and of course spent a lot of time in Cloth World when I was a little kid. So I know a lot about the fabrics, and you would think, oh, this is going to be good. Not the case. Not necessarily the case, which is disappointing to find out, but sometimes it doesn't. What you want is that when you cut that straight line, the next time you cut it, it's also going to be a straight line. And then when you cut again, you don't have to re-straighten it or anything like that. It's going to be good. So while the brand name may be an indicator, it is not a guarantee. So be sure to check that. Be sure to evaluate that. And I'm going to give you some things that we look out for when you're checking it. What you want in your fabric here, and I will just pick a piece. Oh, let's try this stuff. What you want is, first off, well, you know, they're all important, but what you want is a fabric that's not going to stretch. You don't want it to stretch when you're quilting. When you quilt with t-shirts and stuff, you have to back it so that it doesn't stretch, because if it does stretch, you won't be able to keep everything square. So what you want is the minimal stretch. So yeah, so make sure that it's like that. Even you know, of course it's going to stretch some on the bias, right? That's what it's supposed to do. But you want just very minimal stretch. All right. And the next thing that you're going to want to look out for is a good hand. Does it feel good in your hand as you're holding it? So a good hand is kind of like you hold it in your hand, right? And it drapes nicely. It doesn't feel stiff or crunchy. That's also a higher quality fabric. Something else to watch out for. There's a fabric here, which is just wonderful to work with. It doesn't have a very soft hand. It's a little stiffer, but it's still quilted up just fine. So, you know, again, caveat emptor, be aware of what you're buying, pay attention to what you're doing. And then the other thing that I would tell you is it needs to pass the blouse test. So, for example, if I get it, like especially whites and stuff, let me pull white fabric down. Or if I could imagine, I'm going to make a blouse out of this fabric. Is it going to be see-through? That's one thing to think about, because if the quilt you're using, if the quality of fabric you're using, if you can see your hand through it, if you can see things through it, it might not be a good choice. You might need to wait and find something else. So those are a few things to look out for, and I would say this. This is my statement to classes, to my students. Buy the best you can afford to get. And, you know, consider the application too. If it's going to be a dog bed, or if it's going to be that roll-around picnic quilt, or whatever, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a higher quality fabric. But buy the best that you can afford. You're putting your time, your money, your energy, your creativity, your heart. So you're putting all these things into this project that you're making. And so you want to make it the best, highest quality that you can. So buy the best that you can afford to do. And we totally understand. I cannot afford that. Got it. Totally understand. But just try, you know, buy the best that you can afford to buy. And so if you have desperate times, right? We all have them. Desperate times call for desperate measures. You can wash it and starch it. And that can save a stretchy fabric. That can save one that it might be a little, you know, wonky or not behaving properly. Starching it really well can make a big, huge difference. Alright, so that's about all I have, but I promise you guys a little bit more of a tour here. I want you to see this, and you can share pictures of your stash with me too. I'd love to see those. This right here is this is all these tubs, and I'm thinking, like, oh, I'm just going to put a project in each tub and a class in each tub, and then I'll just be ready to go. I won't need that many tubs. My husband says I have some considerations about maybe the load bearing. Perhaps this is too many tubs. He may be right. He may be right. I may need to cut down on that. And batting, man, I bagged some good batting the other day. We'll do another episode where we talk about batting. But then I've stored a lot of stuff in these little tubs here. They're sorted by color. They're sorted by color. And then, of course, I tried to sort this by color, and a friend who helped me just a little while ago, sorry Mariah, helped me sort it by color. I kind of trashed it. I've been a little busy. So, but hopefully it's going to get better. Thank you guys for joining me. Next time, the topic that we're going to talk about is how to save a block. What if this is measures 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6 1/4, 6.5, 6.5. How do you fix that 6 1/4? What are tricks and things that you can do to rescue that block? So that's going to be my topic next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking through it with me. Yeah, I'd love to see pictures of your studio and your stash. And please post any questions if you have them. And I will look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thanks so much.